should Americans trust you and House Democrats on the Jeffrey Epstein files when one of your own, Congresswoman Plaskett, was found to be texting with Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing, getting information from him, using that in her questioning during a congressional hearing, and at one point he tells her, good job.
This is a bipartisan effort to make sure that, consistent with what the survivors have requested, that there's full and complete transparency, and every single predator who may be in those Justice Department files doesn't escape accountability.
Meanwhile,
I have excellent news for you. I think, although many of us have been saying it for years, he has proven himself in this last year to be fully incapable of taking over the job from Nancy Pelosi. I have some good news for you. Hakeem Jeffries ain't it, but Chi Ossé is, and he is officially, after much speculation, filed today to run to challenge Hakeem Jeffries. Chi Ossé is an incredible, young, really energetic, exciting city councilor in New York City and now candidate for Congress. I promise you want to get in on the ground floor here. Follow Chi.
I find that right now, many of our leaders within the Democratic Party are not communicating in the way that they need to be.
Is that code for social media?
It's not just social media.
You have a very good social media.
I do believe social. I appreciate
clicks
that.
Are not votes, right? Harris learned that.
It's not just about social media, though, right? We need our party to be pushing big ideas. I don't want us to be a party on small ideas anymore. It's not enough to just be anti-Trump and critical of Republicans. We need to be fighting to improve the material conditions of Americans.
But is it small ideas or pragmatism? I mean, I think the argument, especially from moderates, is like you got to make things run. You got to have the experience to make things run, and that those are wins. Those are things that build trust.
Listen, it's small ideas, right? We never criticize or say that it's the lack of pragmatism when Donald Trump is giving tax cuts to billionaires while he's gutting health care, while they're funding bombs that are blowing up buildings abroad, right? We need to have big ideas within the Democratic Party that will improve the lives of Americans. It's Medicare for all. That's building affordable housing. That's a Green New Deal.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about the nightmare scenario that is playing out in real time for the current leaders of the Democrat Party. We've already talked about Chuck Schumer, who is the Democrat leader in the Senate. This guy is on the verge of quitting, right? He's about to wave the white flag and retire because he knows that his time is up, that the Democrat base, the Democrat Party, they no longer want him in leadership after his shutdown attempt backfired in his face. Because like I told you guys, no matter what they do, the Democrats, the radical base of the Democrats, the socialist, communist base of the Democrat Party, they want to get rid of leadership. And Chuck Schumer orchestrating that shutdown and getting nothing out of it was the final nail in his coffin. And that is why his time is up. And everybody knows this.
The shutdown is over, but Democrats are now asking an existential question. We have some new reporting from Manu Raju and Isaac Dovere that illustrates the vulnerability that 43 days, 8 defecting senators cast on the minority leader, Chuck Schumer, with one House Democrat from Schumer's home state going so far as to say, quote, it's his last term and he may be the only one on earth unaware of it. Manu.
Yeah, Isaac and I spoke to roughly 24 Democrats from, in Congress and in New York. And look, the overwhelming view among people we spoke with is that they believe his days are numbered one way or the other, and likely in 2028 when he's up for re-election again. Remember, at that point, he'll be roughly 78 years old, I believe, when he's running. So that's one reason why there's a belief that he won't run, but also how vulnerable he has become. If he were to run in a primary, he could potentially be defeated. So that's why a lot of people believe he's going to opt to retire. So that's one problem for him. The other is the dissension within the Senate Democratic Caucus. He, of course, is the Democratic leader. There's going to be a secret ballot election that will occur after the November elections. Now, the Senate is a Democratic caucus is a much less likely place where you'll see them try to remove someone as leader. That typically does not happen, but he is facing more grumbling about his leadership than he has in his 9 years as leader, and that is what we have seen in other leaders pass at the end of their term, like whether it's Harry Reid, Chuck Schumer, or Mitch McConnell. Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi, or Mitch McConnell.
Which is why he is singularly focused on winning the Senate back.
Yeah.
And these are the moves, just among the moves that he has made. He has recruited Janet Mills, the governor of Maine, to run, Roy Cooper, the former governor of North Carolina, to run, the former Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown to run in Jackie's home state of Ohio, trying to recruit the most likely people to flip seats back because, well, let's just say he wins the Senate back, which is a long shot, but you never know. Maybe he could go out a hero, or people tend to change their minds when their leader is successful.
Yeah, we could be happy. And when people are happy, maybe there's not an uprising.
Yeah.
But that's going to be, you're right, it's going to be a tall order to take back the Senate.
Yeah, so even CNN, they're admitting that Chuck Schumer's days are numbered, that he's out. And this is almost basically a guarantee. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Because if he doesn't retire, it is likely that he's going to get beat in a primary race against AOC. Okay, essentially, that Senate job is AOC's if she wants it, right? If she decides not to run for president, she can certainly get that Senate seat. It's hers, right? It's hers at this point. Chuck Schumer has been defeated. Now, we got to talk about another Democrat that is on the verge of defeat. The leader of the Democrats in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, a.k.a. T-Mo Obama, a.k.a. Discount Obama, a.k.a. Dollar General Obama, a.k.a. No Swag Obama, No Riz Obama. No Riz Obama is facing the same fate as Chucky Schumer because Hakeem Jeffries has just received the primary challenge of his nightmares, okay? As Chi Ossé, who's a supporter of Zohran Mamdani, right? He's a part of the Socialist, the radical Socialist in New York City. Chi Ossé, a current sitting member of the New York City Council, he is now challenging Hakeem Jeffries in the primary. He has filed paperwork against Hakeem Jeffries. And this is a big deal. And I believe that this guy can win. And part of the reason why I believe this guy can win is because leftists have been plotting this coup against Hakeem Jeffries for a long time. Like, they plotted out the maps. They've looked at the demographics. They've looked at the voters. And they said, this guy is our guy to take down Hakeem Jeffries. And I believe that it is likely that he's going to be successful because he's woke as hell. And he's also black. So Hakeem Jeffries can't pull the black card, right? That cancels out. That Infinity Stone of Wokeness gets canceled out. This guy also seems to be a little zesty, right? A little feminine. So he may have an extra Infinity Stone of Wokeness working in his favor. But the left-wing lunatics are excited about this guy stepping up to take down Hakeem Jeffries. Take a look.
What the f is up, TikTok? This is New York City Council member Chi Ossé here in the district for a summer Saturday.
This is an D-N.Y block party. We were doing these every year before COVID hit. They're back.
Literally an icon. I mean, who hates the fire department? Nobody. I asked and I told her I wasn't allowed to do this. Am I allowed to slide down the pole?
Yeah, well, of course
I
you can
can.
slide down the pole. Yes.
Today?
Who said you couldn't?
I won't tell you who.
I
slide down poles all the time.
I believe trans people make up 0.01% of America's population when, the actual 1% of billionaires and many millionaires are raising the taxes for working class New Yorkers, right? It's not trans people that are making the lives of Americans unaffordable. It's the oligarchy. It's the billionaires that are spending money to ruin our government and who got Trump elected.
It's time we fortify New York against the climate crisis. When we talk about building Fortress New York, we usually mean fighting fascism. But in a city that floods too many times a year, fortify New York also means investing in our climate resilience. And yesterday's flooding showed us why. Every year, it's the same story. But none of this shit is normal. The city can't handle this kind of flooding, and it's only getting worse. The climate crisis is here.
So this is a map of the New York City mayoral election. Now, this blue area over here, that's all Zohran country. All the green, that's where Cuomo won. And what's interesting is that when you overlay that map with Hakeem Jeffries' district, which is all this dotted red line right here, what we'll see is that the vast majority of his district is Zohran territory. Only a little bit down here voted for Cuomo. And this area is much more densely populated than this area. And that is a very serious problem for Hakeem Jeffries. Because you see, Hakeem Jeffries really resisted Zohran the entire time. Even after he won the Democratic nomination, he refused to endorse him until the very last minute when the writing was on the wall and it was very clear that he was going to win. Now, if you don't know who Hakeem Jeffries is, he is the leader of the Democratic Party in the House of Representatives, and he is incredibly feckless. He literally was frustrated with liberal groups for pressuring him to oppose Trump more. That is the level of useless that this man is. But the good news is that he is in a very progressive district. He is extremely vulnerable to a primary from the left. Like, extremely vulnerable. This is a very, very doable win here for the progressives. And the truth is that if the progressives topple a party leader, it will send real ripple effects and shivers down the base of the entire establishment. Because if the progressives can topple the leadership, then they can topple anybody. And suddenly the rank and file members will be scared of a progressive challenger. The truth is, for anything to change, the rank and file members of the Democratic Party need to be scared of progressive challengers from the left.
I genuinely don't think that it's hit Hakeem Jeffries or Chuck Schumer yet that they're done in politics. They're done. I don't think it's hit them yet, which is so funny. But I'm saying this and recording this, and I'm going to post this with the hope that this will somehow get in front of them and that they'll see it and finally fucking realize they're not going to have a career this time next year. With that, please engage, do all the things, like, repost, comment your thoughts, share this with a friend, and follow me for more. They keep doing these interviews and these news segments and these clips that go viral where they're just saying the same thing, saying whatever AIPAC tells them to say, and then, they're so surprised. They're so surprised when the backlash hits, like it does every time. Isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different outcomes? And it really is funny in a way, because it's like they're moving and acting like they have nothing to lose.
Some positive news on a Monday because Chi Ossé has just announced and filed paperwork to primary Hakeem Jeffries for New York's 8th Congressional District. Ossé is a close ally of Mamdani. He's against corporate interests. He's against AIPAC. All good, positive things. And he's younger. Please, if you're younger, run for office, run for something, run for a local election, something. We need, like, the millennial class to take over the political landscape because the old guard has screwed us, has fucked us over. Junior year in high school was 9/11. I graduated college during the fucking Great Recession. We've had to live through fucking Donald Trump, COVID, and the last 10 years of every fucking policy in America go more conservative, and the time is fucking now to take back the Democratic Party from people that are old fucking idiots that only give a fuck about corporate interests and don't give a flying fuck about you and about me.
Yeah, so again, this really is a nightmare scenario for Hakeem Jeffries, and I'm not saying that as an exaggeration. As pointed out in one of those clips, Hakeem Jeffries comes from a very progressive district. As you notice, Chuck Schumer refused to endorse Zohran Mamdani. He refused to say who he voted for because his time is up, right? He ain't running for re-election. He knows that he's done, okay? And again, if he does run for re-election, he's cooked. Hakeem Jeffries, on the other hand, he's supposed to be the young, relatively speaking, compared to Nancy Pelosi in the old guard. He's supposed to be the young leader of the Democrat Party in the House. He's not supposed to lose his seat. And I think part of the reason why he decided to endorse Zohran is because he knew that his district would overwhelmingly vote for Zohran. So he had to come out and endorse Zohran, or else he would get backlash going into a primary against a guy who's an ally of Zohran Mamdani, right? Chi Ossé, again, is a part of the radical socialists, the far left, that is trying to take over New York City. That's what's happening. Okay, that's exactly what's happening. And I think that this dude can actually beat Hakeem Jeffries. I think it's a good chance that he will beat Hakeem Jeffries. The only advantage that Hakeem Jeffries currently has is the fact that he is an incumbent and he will probably raise a ton of money, right? But outside of that, right, in regards to what these people clearly want to vote for, which is more radical far left socialism, yeah, I think that Hakeem Jeffries is cooked. And what you're seeing from Democrats when it comes to the Trump derangement, when it comes to their antics, the shutdown, that is desperation. That is them trying to save their own careers, right? They know that the far left, they smell blood in the water, and stuff like this happening, okay, is exactly why Democrats are losing their minds and just opposing Trump on literally everything and just being as Trump deranged as possible because they're afraid of these individuals. So without further ado, let's actually listen to a clip of this guy reacting to the win that Zohran Mamdani scored in the New York City mayor's race.
his platform. A lot of young people got excited and turned out to vote for the first time. This is a race that should be replicated across the country if Democrats want to win back our country. And because of that, I do believe that his agenda will be passed.
There's the opposite side of that, which is there's a lot of Republicans who believe that they can use the whole socialist label, his youth, as they see it, and inexperience, as actually an argument against Democrats next year. Will it work?
I don't think it will work. I think the Democratic base wants to see their candidates who are fighting for big ideals and big ideas instead of being a party on small ideas, right? Currently, Donald Trump and the Republican Party, they're gutting our healthcare system. They're giving tax cuts to billionaires. Meanwhile, people are starving within our cities. Our base wants leaders who will fight for solutions that will support our people. And Zoran presented solutions that speaks to the larger apparatus of the party.
AKA, the base wants socialism. They want communism. That's what he's actually saying. And they want more wokeness. That is what they want. They want Trump derangement, wokeness, socialism / communism. That is the winning strategy for any Democrat in the primary. Okay? That's the winning strategy.
Can't buy the kind of national publicity he got out of a essentially local race. Maybe the biggest city in the country, but it is rare for the kind of attention that he got. I guess the question is, since you know him, do you sense he's feeling the pressure?
I think he is aware that the pressure exists, but I don't think that pressure is deterring him. Zoran is entering into this mayorship with a co-governance model, with a movement of people behind him. New Yorkers are excited for him to lead. They support his mandate to lead.
But maybe even beyond New Yorkers, because a lot of people are saying, is he giving Democrats all around the country sort of a roadmap for running?
Absolutely. As I said, Trump and the Republican Party are wreaking havoc on our country, and Democrats are failing to step up to the plate, especially Democratic leadership, and pushing back. It's not enough anymore to just be anti-Trump. We need our Democrats to be presenting a vision that's worth fighting for, and that's exactly what Zoran has been doing within this campaign that should be replicated across this country.
So let me ask you about you. Can you confirm or deny you're considering a challenge to Hakeem Jeffries?
So listen, Chris, I've been hearing from a lot of concerned constituents, especially within Bed-Stuy, about how they feel about the leadership of our Democratic Party. New Yorkers are tired of our leaders spending our money bombing buildings and homes abroad instead of building affordable housing and protecting homes here. They're tired of seeing SNAP gutted. They're tired of seeing health care killed.
But do you think he's responsible for that?
I do believe that Democratic Party leadership is not stepping up to this plate in the moment that they should. However, I am looking at my time within the council as being a great tool to support my constituents within Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights.
Chi Ossé, I have a feeling we'll be talking in the days and weeks and months come. You're going to run, right?
Listen, I'm focused on supporting Zoran and supporting my constituents within the 36th Council District.
You can't blame me, Mr. Councilman, for trying. Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming.
Yeah, so lo and behold, he did end up filing, right? So he is going to run. And I think Hakeem is cooked. I think his career is over. I told you guys when Zoran first came onto the scene, okay, when he really started to get hot in the Democrat primary, I said, yeah, I think he's going to win. And I think he's going to win the general election as well, too. So I'm telling you guys right now, I got the same feeling about this dude that I have about Zoran Mandami because he's in Zoran Mandami's circle. And Hakeem Jeffries' district is extremely progressive. This dude has probably more Infinity Stones of wokeness than Hakeem Jeffries. So he cancels out Hakeem Jeffries, the Infinity Stones of wokeness, his black card. Hakeem Jeffries is not very charismatic. He's not somebody that I see as a good leader, right? He does not inspire anybody. The only thing he has at this point is the backing of the establishment and money. That's what he got. And I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. I'm just not sure. And that's why I think that he's cooked, right? And that's the hilarious part. This is why I kept saying that these Democrats, be careful about getting in bed with these socialists, because eventually Democrats are going to lose their jobs to these individuals. They're losing their jobs to the same people that they radicalize. Because in the eyes of these progressives, you can't be Trump deranged enough. You can't be far left enough, right? You always have to be more deranged, more woke, more far left, more socialist. And Hakeem Jeffries, I don't think that he can actually live up to the expectations of these far left lunatics that he helped radicalize. So I just think it's fascinating that a lot of these Democrats are going to end up losing their jobs. Their careers are going to be ended by the same people that they gaslit, the same people that they radicalized with Trump derangement. These are the individuals that are going to take down the Democrats, right? And hey, they deserve it, right? They deserve it, to be honest with you. Let's just hope and pray that in actual swing districts, in center-right districts, and center-left districts, where Republicans can actually win, that if these lunatics end up in general elections, that Republicans can defeat them and flip some seats, right? Because in these deep blue districts, these socialists are going to win, and they're going to replace Democrats, but that's not that bad, right? It will be annoying to deal with those individuals in Congress, but they really won't have that much power as long as they're winning in deep blue districts. We should get concerned if they start winning in places outside of deep blue districts. If they start winning in swing districts or center right districts or even center left districts, that's when we should be concerned. But if they're taking down these Democrats in these deep blue districts that, again, built careers based off Trump derangement, I just think it's karma, right? To be honest with you. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.